Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are featuring the brand RZE. Now, to be fair, I've never featured them before, but it's one of those brands I've heard of a lot on, especially micro brand, the micro brand fraternity of watch collectors. They've only been around for about 5 years, but already have kind of built up a big name for themselves. They feature, I believe it's around about 7 or 8 different models. The last watch show I went to, they were featuring their new digital watch actually, and it was creating quite a bit of fuss actually. There was a lot of people who really liked it, kind of as an alternative to a G-Shock. Yeah, but overall, I like many of these automatic models. This is part of the Resolute range of watches, and this model particularly doesn't even feature yet on their website. This is the enamel blue, but you can already get, I believe it's 6 different colorways of this watch. They do have various different types of watches, but this is one of their key models, I think anyway. A quick disclaimer right up front, I was sent this watch to review, so I get to keep it afterwards, just so you guys know, but I'll be completely honest with what I think, my findings of this one are anyway. It's got some real nice features, being that it's made of titanium. It's got a proprietary hardened system on there. It is a very cool watch. Price wise, I believe you can obtain it for as low as £685. That's if you go for their, I think it's like a biodegradable case system. But if you want it in one of their pouches, like you can see here, which is actually very nice for transporting your watch around or anything else really, it's quite nice and rugged. I believe it comes in at just over £700, and I believe for that you're actually getting quite a nice watch. Let me talk to you about the sizes first. I'm measuring it at 39.5mm. The thickness of a watch is only 10.5mm. The lug to lug across here is coming in at 46, and the bracelet size on this is 20mm. Now the dial, as I say, doesn't feature yet on their website. It's an enameled blue. They said it is actually a fire treated enamel, but it looks so flat. It looks really good. I like the way you can see the shadow of the second hand as it glides around that dial there. It looks very good. And then to break it up, you've got these applied hour markers which sit so nicely on it. It gives it a kind of, it breaks up that flatness of the dial, and it looks really good. There is lume in all these hour markers and the hands, but what's nice is it doesn't, you get the blue glow off there. I wouldn't say the longest lasting, but you also get a bit of other coloured lume on the end of the hour markers of the 3, 6 and 9, which is like a pale yellow, and it breaks it up a little bit, makes it look a little bit more premium. It does look very good. You've got a printed hour track going on around the side there. Being that the minute hand is actually quite long, you can easily set the time very accurately on there. You have a brushed finish to the outer sides of the hour markers and the hand, and you also have a brush finish to the applied RZE logo kind of there. I like that you kind of see the R and the Z. It's kind of nice how they do that. It really does look the part. And then minimal script, 100 meters automatic. Do you really need any more than that? Who knows? But it's a, it's a go anywhere type of watch really. As we come past that, we are featuring a sapphire crystal. It does have AR, but only on the inside. And to be fair, it does a pretty good job of most reflection. You see it's a little bit more, but many people don't like it on the outside. So as I say, we come past that, and then we're greeted with this gorgeous titanium case. Now, not only is this solid titanium, but it features their what's called UltraHex, I think it is, which is a kind of applied coating, I believe, to the titanium. So it actually works out at 1200 Vickers in hardness. That is seriously hard. So that means you shouldn't really get any scratches on this at all. It puts it above, in some ways, many of the Damasco case hardened watches. It also puts it in the same level as steel tagmenting from Zinn. So it should be, it should kind of be pretty scratch free for a very long time. The case itself, though, as I say, it kind of looks quite unusual. I like that you got horizontal brushwork going on there and then radial brushwork there. It's very angular. It's kind of, I do like it. You've got this section here which makes it sit on the wrist a little bit better. It doesn't dig into your wrist. And then we've got the good old-fashioned drilled lugs, which just makes bracelet changing a lot easier. Not that that's a real problem, because you also have spring bars on this. As we come round to this side, we're featuring a crown with their logo there, and it is a screw down crown. Now, there is no ghost date on this at all. It goes straight into hacking there, and obviously winding there. A little bit, I'd say a little bit rough on the winding, maybe. Maybe I'm splitting hairs on that one, but nonetheless, screw down crown goes in, no problem. It is a little bit sharp, I would say, around here. So a tiny bit they could have done with just knocking that edge off a little bit. But overall, the crown guards do a very good job of protecting that crown. As we turn this round, we do have a solid case back, but underneath there is the Miyota 9000 series movement. Now, put it into context, that movement in this one here costs way over double what an NH35 would cost you. It also beats at 8 beats per minute, so we get a very fluid second hand gliding around there. I do prefer that to the slower beat rate. I put this one on the time grapher and it was actually coming in at 0. I think it was also 0 beat rate, which is very, very good. I found though, actually on my wrists, I've been wearing this for the last few days, I'm probably losing 1 second a day, I would say. I could probably mitigate that by not wearing it at night and putting it flat down. That would probably stop that, but nonetheless, 1 second a day puts it well within chronometer spec, so very, very impressive. The movement as well can feature 5G of shock. So I think it's a 24 dual movement, 41 hours of power reserve. It only has it doesn't have bi-directional winding, which was quite surprising, but you can tell it's by, can I do it? You can just hear the rotor spinning. Now, for some people, they may not like that. I quite like it, because I always think you can feel the watch is actually, it's almost like the beating heart of a watch. When you feel that, you know it's a mechanical device and it is doing something. So it's, you know, horses for courses. Not everyone may like it, but I certainly do. I wish I could get better shots of this, because indoors that dial just doesn't really come to life as much as when it is outside. But overall, it's really good. The bracelet, again, is full titanium and features their hard coating. So, you know, you shouldn't be, I very much doubt you'll see any scratches on this for a very long time. Most of these are screwed as well. I think it goes up to there. I had to take something like 5 links out of this just so it would fit my wrist. The clasp, as it comes around, nice, positive, very clean, just features an engraved logo on the back there and a twin pusher. You have to press both for it to release. Also, one thing I did notice is they've actually written their logo on the inside there, which is a very nice touch. Also, it's their own design on their clasp, and it features on the fly micro adjustment. So if I press this, you get an idea of how much you can move it out. You can move it out what feels like a whole link all the way out there, and then it goes back in with C. So that's locked in now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got 4 clicks on there, and you, as I say, you can put it all the way out and then just back it in while it's on the wrist, so you can get the optimal fit for yourself. So it's nice to have. It's, you know, and what's nice as well, it's a little bit thick to be fair, but it's not too bad. So anyway, you can also get this watch on different straps. One thing I have to say is the Artem strap there would look very, very nice, or I've got a Vario one there, which also would look quite nice. As I say, you can pick it up for around about $685 off their website. For that, you don't get any pouch. If you want the pouch with it, which is actually quite a nice, decent pouch for carrying around, or carrying, who knows, whatever around with you, it's about £705. Overall, I think it is a great looking watch. I should point out the head only weighs 60 grams, and it features also, which isn't a kind of nice touch, I think you call them Viton gasket seals on this, which is a really nice touch. They are far more premium than the rubber type. Let's put this on my wrist so you got an idea how it looks. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing a Zin EZM 2 I've had for many years. That features the same gaskets as well on that one. And Bob has a purple dial King Seiko there, which is a very, very nice looking watch actually. My wrist size is 7¼ inches. So if I put this on now, as you can see, it looks superb. That works out to around about 18.5 centimeters. It sits incredibly low. And you see what I mean now about those chamfers being cut out. They don't dig into your wrist at all on there. I think this is a lovely watch. It is available in many different colours. I'm certain they'll find one which suits most people. Overall, I think it's a lovely watch, and, you know, let me know what you guys think of this one. But mostly, stay safe out there, guys. Look after yourselves. Bye.